Hi, everybody. Hello. I know you guys don't usually see me with my hair back, so I'll let my hair down so I can be the regular lioness that you guys have always known. Although I do feel a little bit weird with my hair down today because it's not exactly in the best. You, it's not that I'm having a bad hair day. It's just that my hair is curling in ways that it doesn't normally curl. So, anyway, how is everyone? How is it? What music is that? That is music that has been made for me by the people that you see in the chat. People have made music for me. So I enjoy the music that people make for me. And I use it. I use it on my channel. Puniti. Your mane is lovely. I appreciate. Okay, normally I don't drink cola, but I am drinking a Middle Eastern cola. It's called Salam Cola. And I'm going to have a Middle Eastern cola today because I feel like my stomach needs it, So pardon me. Let me have a sip. Oh, salud. That's extremely bubbly. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Now listen. You guys think that American cola is bubbly? Middle Eastern cola is bubbly times 7. It's really bubbly. I'm getting drunk. Oh, stop it, guys. Stop it right now. You guys know I wouldn't touch alcohol with a 10-foot poker. All right, then. Okay, so here we go. Actually, I think I want my hair back a little bit. I'll just do like this. How about this? Okay, so I want to share with you guys some stuff here. I brought my book with me so you guys can see for yourselves. You guys ready? Let's not knock this over. Okay, hold on. I'm grabbing it. There's some stuff I want to share with you all. So, I don't know if any of you guys are readers, but hi, John Dell. Hi, Aaron. Says it goes kaboom in your mouth. Hey, we'll have no racial centered jokes here. But yes, it does make a boom. I don't know if any of you all are readers, okay? What's on the agenda tonight? Well, let me get to it because we have a couple of things that we need to speak about, okay? Let me get to it. Okay. There are a couple of things that I want to talk to you all about, right? I don't know if any of you guys are readers, but if you are, I would like to share with you all just a couple of books really quickly that I'm reading so that if you guys want to read along with me, feel free to do so. Number one, I'm reading this right now. The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale. I recommend it. I'm just starting it, so you know how books can be. The other one is Scythe. So Scythe is also a good book. It's like a dystopian type of book, but it's a world with no hunger, no disease, and no war, no misery. But humanity has conquered all of those things and has even conquered death. Now, scythes are the only ones who can end life. So, check out this book. Pretty interesting. I haven't started reading it yet, so I don't know. The one I'm almost done. I'm almost done this book, one by one. So I'm almost done this book. It's just a light book that you can read, like a mystery book, like murder mystery or something. And lastly, my last book for all of you guys who are into law. This book is called Presumed Guilty. Presumed Guilty. I like it, but I have noticed that there is a little bit of Democrat propaganda in it. But, you guys can look past that and enjoy the book for what it is, a book. Someone said that The Handmaid's Tale is feminist propaganda. Well, I like to read books like that because you guys know how I am. And I like to see through the bull crap in books. So even this book, I can see past the bull crap, the propaganda, and all of that, and I can actually take a story for what it is, you know. So I'm gonna read The Handmaid's Tale and see what it's all about. But anyway, the conversation I wanted to have with you guys today is a little bit on the serious side. Okay, I want to share something with you all. You guys have known me for about 4 years or so, right? A family member of mine has been diagnosed with something. It's not a new diagnosis. It's kind of an older one, but hold on. Sorry, guys. It's kind of an older diagnosis. Yeah, we'll talk politics. We'll talk politics in a bit, AR. But anyway, a family member of mine has been diagnosed with something. It's a distant aunt of mine who's been diagnosed with dementia. Now, she was diagnosed with this last year, and the doctor said that she had anywhere between 4 months to 2 years to live. Because dementia really does go fast. It really eats the brain rather quickly. Now, I recently saw this family member, and I just wanted to talk with you guys about something because it's been really screwing with me, right? Because there's something so special about the human brain. You know, just our brain is what separates us from beasts, you know, our spirit, our brain, our ability to work with one another, and our cognitive abilities. And I wanted to speak to you all about something because I noticed something in that family member who is suffering with dementia. I noticed something in her that it really, I think I now have a fear of something that I have never felt before. And that fear is losing my mind. I mean, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like when you lose your mind, right? And I wrote down a few things, right? I wrote down a few things that I noticed in her, and I'll share them with you. Number one, the first thing that I noticed in her is that her baseline now is confusion. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like just absolute confusion. Nothing makes sense to her. Nothing. I don't know if she knows what's real or what's fiction or imagination or what have you. I don't know. Number two, anger and loss of enjoyment of life. Like she's just, you know, the mood swings and the anger, and I think that all comes from the confusion. Do you know what I mean? I think when you're confused that much, the only thing that you can feel is anger because there's nothing really to be happy about because you're confused. And number three, the loss of her identity. Like this is the one that I wanted to talk to you guys about the most, okay? Is the losing your identity. I wanted to ask you all, what are we but our identity? Like, what is our identity? What does it mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm being kind of, I swear I'm not smoking weed, okay? I'm not like, you know what, guys? What's life really? Like, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just, I guess there's some things that mess with me mentally. And one of those things is that I always wonder, or I always try to understand the concept of identity, of what we are, right? What are we? And partly, I think we are just a sum of all of our experiences in life. We are basically the summary of our experiences. Or do we have any control over who we are or our identity? I don't know. I mean, so seeing someone with dementia, seeing her actively struggling through this, it made me think like, if you lose your brain, you lose your memories. So then because you lost your memories, you also lost your identity because you are only the sum of your experiences and your memories. That's all we are as humans, right? I mean, we are just all of our memories up until now, up until today. From birth till now, this is what we are, is the sum of all of our memories, I believe. And that bothers me a lot. And then the next thing I noticed in her was her inability to identify others. I mean, you guys know that that comes with it, but the reason I brought that up is because when you don't have your own identity, how weird must it feel to try to identify another person? Because you identifying another person is you identifying the sum of memories that are around that person. So you can't remember the sum of memories that makes the identity of that person, which is also and of course the loss of independence comes along with it, and also lastly the loss of all morality, because morality and integrity often is centered around empathy, social cues, social codes, and it's just, how can you even respond to social cues and social codes when you don't even know who you are yourself? I mean, it just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't mean to get too deep on all of you guys, but I just, you guys are who I have to talk to. You guys are, in a way, you guys are my diary, right? So this is the reason why I brought it up to you all, is because I wanted to see your guys' thoughts on identity, and when you lose your mind and losing all your memories, why is it that all we are is a sum of our memories? Why can't we be something beyond that? So does that mean that me as a person, let's say just me as a person or you as a person, if you don't have your memories, you are no longer you. I'm no longer me without my memories of who I am, reminding me every day who I am. Me waking up every morning, I wake up and I remember all the memories of my life, and that tells me who I am today. But if I don't have my memories, then I wouldn't know what my identity is. And I don't know, I guess it just bothers me. It just, does it not bother you all? I mean, that life is so fragile, that we are just, because you would think that a person, your personality, your identity, and so on and so forth, is stronger than just memories. You would think that it's something innate. Your personality, your identity is something innate. It's something that you're born with. Like, it doesn't change with you not having a memory or having a memory. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That's what I thought identity was, until I see my family members struggling to know who she is. And I'm thinking to myself, like, even if you don't remember what we did yesterday or the day before, you should still have a sense of who you are, because you were born you. You were born as you. So you don't need to remember what we did yesterday or last year, or you shouldn't need to remember those things to know who you are. But that's not the case. That's not the case. She really needs to have memories in order to remember who she is. She's going to die soon. There's no, I mean, they say, like, with things like dementia and Alzheimer's, I guess, there's no way to really look at the brain until the person is dead to see the damage that's been done. But it moves very quickly. Like, once you're diagnosed, or once you actually start realizing that something's off, I mean, by that time, you're already, you're done. And so she's going to die soon for sure. I mean, and I almost want her to die sooner, because I can't imagine the suffering that she's going through. Do you know what I mean? because the mind is a hell of a thing to lose. Losing your mind is, I mean, I think, well, uh, I'll just, I guess I'll just ask you guys what you think. Frost. When my grandmother had dementia, she would tell me the same story over and over again, and she would forget she just told it. See, and that is her trying hard to keep her memories. That I believe that's why she was doing it, is her trying hard to keep the memories. Samael, the mind is the connection between the soul and the body. The connection may break down, the vessel may die, but the soul lives on. I will. I still didn't ask the right question about the mahar. We're not talking about that right now, Will. Aaron, it does bother me, but if it happened to me, would I remember feeling this way in this state of mind? I might not be someone bothered by it if I'm kind of someone else. You know what? Is that possible that when you're in the end phase of dementia or Alzheimer's or what have you, that you are at that point a different identity and it doesn't bother you as much because you're not bothered by it because you are accepting that person that you are at that moment. Does that make sense? It could be that we think that the person is suffering, but in truth, maybe they're not suffering as bad as we think they are after a certain point. I mean, I think that the most suffering happens when you are not accepting your new identity, but then once you just accept it, I don't know. I mean, wow. Another thing, she can't sleep. Has anybody heard of that? That when you're suffering through dementia that you can't sleep? She's become an insomniac. Sleep is hard for her. And I would think that sleeping would be the easiest thing to do, but she can't sleep. I try to put her to bed. She'll go to sleep for like an hour and then she'll get up and walk around the house all night. Fionn, my father just died from this. I'm so sorry, Fionn. Yakub says, it's like your humanity is dying. That's the thing I was getting at, Yakub. That's what I was getting at. Because what makes us human, what makes us what we are, what we think we are, and if you can't, and one more thing about this. Does it also make us, as people who do not have dementia yet, or we're not struggling with this issue yet, doesn't it make us realize how important our memories are, how much of an effect they have on us as humans today? Our memories are everything. And it, being able to see that and recognize what's happening to her when she can't recognize it is kind of an eye opener, because now it makes me think of the memories that I make. Every memory that I make during the day, during the week, during the year, when I make new memories, I need to be conscious of those memories and understand that those memories are going to be the thing that I'm going to see as my identity as I grow older. These things are going to be necessary for me to build myself as a person. Our memories build us as humans. And then I think about the type of person I want to be. Even now, the person that I want to be, I need to build certain memories that make me into the person that I want to be. If I want to be a better person, or I want to be a person at peace, especially as I'm getting older in my elder years, I need to start making memories that get me to that state of mind or that state of peace. But if I keep making crappy memories that are, and we don't even think about it half the time, we're just like, oh, whatever. It's just, I had a bad day or I had a bad week or what have you. But The brain remembers. Sorry, guys, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm coming. But yeah, the brain remembers. The brain really does remember. Oh, blindy. Most people don't have much going on upstairs. When they are alone, they fall apart. So old age is a killer for most. Less people pay attention to you. There was a model. This might be kind of a, a these hoes ain't loyal kind of thing. But yeah, these hoes ain't loyal. But here we go. There was this model, right? She was a famous model. I think she appeared in Vogue. She was, she was one of the most beautiful ladies at one point in time. And she said that as she got older, the worst thing that happened to her was not her aging per se, but she hated the way people treated her. And when she was asked how was she being treated that she hated, she said, I began to be invisible. She said she went from being the center of attention. Like imagine, like her being extremely gorgeous as she was, and I still think that she's gorgeous at her age. She's 78 now or something like that, 78, 79. But she said that once she hit like 50, she became invisible. That when she was so used to walking into a room and all heads look her way, to the point that she would almost get irritated that people would look at her so much. And then now, when she walks into a room, no one bats an eye, of course, because now she's invisible. And in my mind, you know what I thought, guys? I thought to myself, well, welcome to manhood, because majority of women refuse to recognize men, or they just don't recognize men. And it's like, welcome to normal life. I mean, you think that everybody's just gonna be impressed by you your whole entire life? No, there's gonna come a day when you're not going to be. Nobody's gonna break their neck to look at you. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, hearing her say that was just so hilarious. She's like, I just became invisible. I'm like, well, well, well. What do you know? But it's like, okay, but when you were getting all the attention, you were irritated. You didn't like that everybody was staring at you. You would tell them, oh, take a picture, it'll last longer. Or, why are you looking at me? I'm taken. But now that you're invisible. But anyway, so she said that she struggled with aging as a woman because of that, how she went from being the dream to being not a nightmare, but a ghost. A ghost. She went from being a dream to being a ghost. Yakut. He says, exactly. Us men feel like this all the time. The only difference is we're used to it. You see, and can I say something to you guys? I know this is bad, but it's kind of a humbling experience, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to tell people, don't break your neck when you see a pretty girl. Don't break your neck to look at her. Just kind of treat her normal. But I know so many people will not do it. So many people will still break their neck to look at girls. But just see how she reacts. See how a girl reacts when you don't break your neck to look at her. See how she behaves afterwards. Because a lot of women, they have an attitude because you broke your neck to look at her. She has an attitude, or she feels a certain way about herself because she saw you. She saw you staring at her. She saw you almost knock over your drink to look at her, and so on and so forth. But see how she acts when you don't do that. When everyone in the room just acts normal. If she flips out and she feels how can you say, like she gets irritated because she feels that, oh, people are not looking at her, or she becomes humble because there are some girls that drop that attitude once they realize that no one's breaking their neck to look at her. A lot of girls will get humble and they'll start acting proper. They'll start being normal people and acting like normal people if you don't put them on a pedestal. The wall is undefeated. And that's the thing. It's like it will come. The day will come for everybody. Not even just women, but men too. But it hurts more for women because for women, attention is currency. Oftentimes, the attention from men or outside or what have you is currency. A lot of women. Oh, and that is why you see so many times where you see mothers and daughters having this rivalry. Mothers and daughters having rivalry against one another. And that's because even though the woman doesn't want to, if a woman is single, mostly this happens with single women, not married women, but with single women and their teenage or young woman daughters, oftentimes they feel like they're in competition with their own daughter because she's also on the market. Mama is on the market and the daughter's on the market too. So it becomes it's not a mother-daughter interaction. It turns into competition between the two because, like we said, attention is currency. So, I mean, it's an awful thing to see. But when I was asked like why that happens, it was such an easy question to answer. It was such an easy question to answer because for women, every other woman is competition if she's on the market. Now, a person like myself, I'm married, so I don't care. And I have my daughter. If I have my daughter and she's, turning into a young woman, she's turning in her 20s, 21, 22, I wouldn't feel like I'm in competition with my daughter. Why? Because I have my husband. I have my life. I have my stability. I am going to try to push my daughter out there for proper suitors. I'm not going to try to take the suitors for myself, obviously, because that's how it should be. But the world is upside down now because so many women are out here single. Yakub says the only difference is when men get older, they look more attractive. Some do. Don't fool yourself, Yakub. I know I've seen a lot of men say like, "Oh, we look greater." Some do. Some. But yeah, a lot of men do look a lot better when they get older. AKA Dog, he says, her beauty commenter said, I don't know what that is. I don't know what a beauty comment. I think differently and say, okay. Fionn says, a woman's power is in her beauty. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that, Fionn. That should not be where a woman's power should be. It should be in her feminine attributes. Typically, that's how. Okay, think about like the time of before. Before, women were taught skills in order to. Hold on, my phone is ringing once. Sorry, guys. Just think about it. Like before, women were taught skills, right? Skills were more important than, well, I won't say more important than beauty. Do you want to know why I say that? I was reading the diary of, she wasn't a medieval woman, she was Victorian. I was reading the diary of a Victorian woman. She was upper middle class. She wasn't like a royal or anything, but she was upper middle class. And she was talking about how beauty versus, class or wealth, how those things played a role in Victorian life or even life before the Victorian age. She said this in her diary. She said, She said, pale skin, clear skin, long hair, thin body, youth, rosy cheeks, rosy lips, big eyes. It's certain things. She said these things, I mean, they were everything. And if a woman had these attributes, oftentimes a lot of people thought that she was using witchcraft or wizardry or something like that against the men because it was such a big deal. But that's another reason why woman skills, woman training. Do you guys know those finishing schools and so on? All of these things were to teach women to be more than just a pretty face, to be more than just, oh, you look pretty, that's it. But they could be more. They had skills. But yeah. Sir Keela says, last night I seen a mother borderline pimping out her own daughter at the spot last night. Heard her say, go say hi to them, the guys, so that I can get a free drink already. I was straight up, say, what? Wait, was she a dancer? Was the daughter a dancer? Is that what you're saying? Frost says men start to get into their peak around 35 and it gets better from there if they do the work. I agree. I would say 30. I would say like at 30 they start, that's the beginning, I mean, but they actually start looking really good. Like once they start getting a little bit of gray hair, which is like what, 40s? Oh my gosh. So incredibly handsome. But you know why the men are more attractive at that age is because they are seen as the leaders by then, because their age, they're seen as the leaders. Women love to be with the leaders. They don't want to be with the young boys. They don't want to be with the kids. Women love leadership and wisdom, and there's just something so incredibly sexy about that. But it's not always because of looks. It's not always because of looks. And I think a lot of men get that confused too, because I think a lot of men think, well, it's because of how we look. That plays a part, but mostly women want older men because they're more stable. They tend to be wiser. They tend to be leaders. They tend to have already gotten where they want to be after a certain age. And that's what women are attracted to. They're attracted to success. Most young men are not successful young. Most of them are still trying to get it together. Most of them are still trying to find their way. So when a lot of men say, oh, we get better with age, women follow you, not because of so much how you look, although there are a lot of men who look good, but mostly because they believe that you're successful by then. They believe that you got it going on, you got it together, and you're a leader. And if you happen to have a little gray hair going and a nice beard, then hey, even better. Fionn, I want talking about what should be. I'm talking about what it is and what is perceived in the present. I've seen so many dude fight or die over girl or Puinani younger. Listen, I need you guys to write good, please. Frost. I'm 34 years old, and 30-year-old women are invisible to me. I look at them like old hags. I only casually date women in their 20s. Are you gonna get married, Frost? Are you looking for a wife, or are you gonna wait until you're like 35, 40 to get married? Curious. Hi, Michael. Michael says, good evening. Just showing up late to the party. Lol. I hope all is well with you. It's going well. It's going well. We're all here and we're doing well, aren't we? It's so primal. Oh, my God. I witnessed this mother-daughter dynamic and it's ugly. Frost. I used to be part-time personal trainer. Oh. Nej. Hey, Mira. Hey, girl. Aaron. Some women only want a leader until they realize he's also the leader in the relationship, not her. Zip it up, quiet. And that's another reason why younger women are preferred. And hey, look, this isn't me, this is nature. Younger women are preferred because they are easier to get to be on a man's program. Think about it. A man who is a leader, who is 35 and starting to get it together, right? He's become the thing that he's becoming the thing that he wants to be. And then he gets with a woman of his same age who is also done with school, who also thinks that she is gonna be some type of CEO, even though the majority of women don't end up being anything really. They don't end up being CEOs of big companies or what have you, but she thinks that she's on the way. Now, think about this. A man of 35 and a woman of 35 get together. This man is going to struggle trying to get this woman to be under him and under his program. It's going to be awful. It's going to be a fiasco, a daily fiasco. What man wants that? What man wants that kind of problem? None. Hold on, let me get my charger. Hey, listen, I already have it with me, so don't say I didn't come prepared, okay? Nej says, you look beautiful as always. Thank you, Nej. I appreciate it. She says, I'm totally losing my mind. Nej, I wish you were here just about 5 minutes ago. We were just talking about the losing of the minds, and just rewind it a little bit if you can. I'll still be here when you get back, but it's quite a topic. It's quite a subject to think about. One moment, let me go ahead and connect this. No. Oh. Doesn't really work this way either. Oh my gosh. You see? This room is just way too big. This room is too large for me to even find an outlet that's close enough to be around. But I think this one barely, it barely made it, but it made it. So we're good. We're good to go. Hold on, guys. Let me fix my hair. All right. Hi, 3G Craftsman. How are you? Nice to see you as well. He says, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. I don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure it's, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Frost. Exactly. The 35-year-old boss babes. And you know, the funny thing is that these ladies who think that they're so boss ladies and blah, 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 they typically don't end up being anything. They don't typically, I'm just saying, you would think that they are about to be getting like Nobel Peace Prizes by the way that they act like they're doing something, but then it turns out to be absolutely nothing. It turns out to be like, oh, they own a salon or an eyelash shop or something. In case you guys don't know, I'm drinking Salam Cola. It is a Middle Eastern cola brand. Check it out. It tastes really, really good. It tastes like Coca-Cola, but a little bit more raw sugar-ish taste. I don't normally drink cola. You guys know that. I typically stay far, far away from colas. This is my first cola that I've had in years. I mean, I do drink Sprite every now and again or ginger ale, but actual cola, like dark cola, I haven't drank it in years. But yeah, do you have an extension cord? No, I do not. I need them. You guys heard me say that? I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It just slipped out. I'm John Doe. A lot of people believe in conditional love, which is the reason for the high divorce rate. Now, you guys know I work in law and I work in a divorce law firm. It's family law, but yeah. And I see this stuff all the time. Let me put the computer on the books. Okay, hold on, guys, 1 second. I want to put it on the books because I want it to have some air circulation. So there we go. Okay. So you guys know I work in family law. I do family law. I constantly see the reasons for divorce. I constantly see it. And can I share with you guys one of my newest cases? Okay, look, if you guys are drinking anything or eating anything, I'm giving you guys a warning. This story is a little bit it's a little bit intimate. Let's just say that, okay? Now, I'm not going to use names, of course, because I can't, but I'm going to give you guys a story. So I have a new client who just came in, signed up. We're working on the case. This case is about a gentleman. He is illegal in this country, and he got married to another woman who is also illegal in this country. Now, check this out. When they got married, everything was good. They had 3 children. Everything worked out good. Now, they had the 3 children. The eldest is a teenager now. Everything is good. Starting about 5-6 years ago, there was an incident that happened. And because of that incident, this woman, his wife, now calls him a faggot. And she uses that word quite precisely. She says the full word, and she repeated it and repeated it. She calls him faggot. So he is constantly having his manhood degraded. She is constantly calling him these type of names in front of the children, who are now teenagers at this point. And well, the eldest is a teen. Not all of them are teenagers, but the eldest is a teen. So he's constantly being degraded by his wife in front of his children. Okay. Now that doesn't stop there. It gets worse because remember, married couples are more than just parents. They are still intimate partners. Okay. Now we have to remember intimacy is a huge thing in marriage. I can't understand why there are some women out there who try to use intimacy as a tool to get their husbands to behave or to do what they want them to do. Women should never, ever, ever be able to say no to intimacy. If you are married and you have a husband, you are breaking the rules of marriage by ever saying no to your husband if he wants intimacy. And I also believe that there's no such thing as rape in marriage. Anyway, further on, this story about these two. So she is constantly degrading him. They're having a bad, intimate time. In her police report, because they had a domestic violence incident, in the police report, she claims that her husband SA'd her. And she says that he SA'd her because during intimacy, he claimed that she was loose, that she was not very closed. I don't know how to say it. You guys understand. Let's just use your imagination. I don't know how to say it. He said she was floja, which means loose. So she said, okay, well, then we're not going to have intimacy at all. So for 2.5 years, they have had nothing. They live in separate rooms of the house. The husband is on the couch in the living room. She's in the bedroom with the youngest baby. This is how they've been living, okay? Now, here they are coming to me. The husband came to me first. The wife came later, but I had to deny her because I was already representing her husband. Her husband comes to me and says this whole story, as you guys see about what I'm saying. And I tried to give him suggestions. I say, hey, divorce is not always the answer. Would you like to try to work it out with her or, what have you? He says, I've tried to take her out on dates. I've tried to speak nice to her. I've tried to open communication. I've even tried to pin her down and force myself on her. But she's a fighter. I said, okay, alrighty then. All right, well then, hey, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right then. So I'm assuming that you're saying that counseling is not an option. He said, no. Fine. Now, check this out. We've started the divorce process. He signed up. That same weekend, he went back home with his wife, with wife dearest. They were together. They had an argument. This is called an end of a marriage argument. You guys know those type of arguments that I'm talking about. You guys know those type of arguments that are the end of a relationship. They had one of those. Now, this end of marriage argument it took place in the living room. Apparently, they were arguing and there was a table in between them. There was water and cookies or something on the table. Now, as they were arguing, it started off, kind of normal. And then it got progressively more louder. So now the children have come into the living room to see why Mama and Papa are screaming at each other. Now, when the children came into the room, apparently wifey dearest took a glass of water with ice cubes in it and threw them in the face of my client. My client was sitting on his end of the sofa. She threw ice and water in my client's face. My client, stunned and cold, sits there on the sofa and he says, okay, I am going to go clean myself up. I'm going to change my shirt. As he stood up to go to the bedroom to change his shirt, our wifey dearest grabs him by his wet shirt, pulls him close, shakes him, and chokes him against a wall. Now, remind you, the children are still present. The children are front and center as an audience watching their mother choke their father, who is now wet with water. Now, before we move on to the other part of the story, I want to tell you guys something. I don't condone family violence. I don't condone bitch slapping women. I really don't. But there comes a time in any person's life where you have to defend yourself. And listen, I know that the children are there, but the thing is, they have boy children too. And this is a very, very, very bad thing for a boy child to see. Now, all right, so this continues on. He finally was able to release her claws from his shirt. His shirt rips. Their eldest child grabs the mother, pulls the mother back, and lets the father go change his clothes. Now, this is when the police are called because the neighbors heard all the commotion. Isn't that great? This is community living. So the neighbors heard all the commotion, and now the police are coming. The police are still not there yet. So as my client comes back into the living room, wifey dearest is now attempting to throw herself off of the balcony in order to kill herself in front of her children. So now my client has to go from victim to now a negotiator, a life-saving negotiator, if you will. He tells her, please do not throw yourself off the balcony in front of the children. That will be extremely traumatizing for them. Not for me, but for them it will be. So please do not do it. Think about the children's future. She finally did, and she grabbed said children and she left before the police would arrive. The time that I got called was shortly after that fight. I was called by wifey dearest, who had no idea that her husband had been to my office merely days before this incident. She didn't know that her husband had already signed me up as counsel for him. So she comes to me and she says, I'm looking for an attorney. I think I want to divorce my husband. Mind you, I don't know this woman. I don't know who she is. I did briefly see her name on the police report, on a previous police report, but I don't know who she is because I don't remember every name that I see. Now she is sitting at my desk in front of me and she's telling me this story. Oh, this man and blah, blah, blah. And I said to myself, this is sounding rather familiar. I said, did he happen to say anything about intimacy? And she said, yes, yes. He said da, 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 da. Basically the same thing that I said to you guys just a few seconds ago. And when she said that, I said, oh, I will be giving you a call. I'll give you a call later because I didn't want to expose her husband as my client at that moment. It just seemed kind of wrong. So I just left it as that. I said, I will give you a call or I'll shoot you an email if I'm able to take you on as a client. You'll be hearing from me. She never heard from me and she never will. Well, she will hear from me when the pleadings come in, when she's served with paperwork from my office. But that's the new situation. So what do you guys think about that? This is what I'm dealing with right now. And yeah. One moment, please. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. She is the victim. Is she? Is she? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, I guess she is the victim. I guess I'm wrong. Nedge says, this is why you have to know your partner. I wonder how long they've known each other before they got married. Nedge, they have been married. Let me see. He said, okay, so the eldest child is 15. So they have been married 16 years. They've been married about 16, 17 years. And so, yeah, they've been married for a while. Guys, vet your future partners. Don't put your noodle in crazy. He let her leave with the children. That's what I said as well. But when I asked him, he said, there's no stopping her. He said, when she is like that, there's no stopping her. I said, you should have told the children, sit your tails here, sit. It's not like she was going to be able to physically pick them up, all three. But he said, if he would have done that, she would have only taken the smallest, and then there would have been hell on earth because then there would have been a separation with the children, and then it would have been more. So he said the best thing to do was to let her take them. Can I ask you guys something as well? I want to ask you guys something that doesn't have anything to do with this. Well, actually, it does kind of have something to do with this case as well. But let me ask you guys something. Would you guys blame a man if a woman is volatile, if she is known to be violent, she is not mentally stable, what have you? Would you blame a man for stepping out of his child's life or the children's life in order to protect them from their mother's rage? The reason I ask it this way is because there have been cases where mother and father fight so hard for the children. Fathers constantly try to be in their children's lives and so on and so forth. But there are some mothers out there who get jealous of the fact that the children love their father and they off the children because they just can't handle the idea that maybe the children would prefer their father over them. So, would you blame a father for stepping out of their child's life and waiting until they're 18 in order to have a relationship with them, in order to save them from the wrath of their mother? Hey, O'Bliney, that's what I say. That's what I say too. That's what I say. No, the hell on earth would have been necessary. And think about it, Mr. Renegade. The police were already on the way. I think if he could have just held her there for, I don't know, just a couple more minutes, that the police would have arrived and everything would have been okay. But I don't know how this man is feeling mentally. I don't know where he is mentally with this woman. And you just never know what people are going through. Smart men don't get married. Victim of sarcasm. She's psychotic. How? Oh, those poor kids. I think you should call ICE on. Um, Frost. Frost. You would say that, wouldn't you? You would. You know, that won't solve the problem. I'm just saying. It won't solve the problem. It just won't. Because then the kids might end up actually. Ned says, I wouldn't blame the guy. Women are crazy. Then they play victim because they know they can. Society coddles them and they take full advantage. Now, and for a man to realize that, a man to actually come to terms with that and to want to protect his own seed and says, you know what? The best way for this kid to grow up without possibly being off by their mother is for me to step out. Because the thing is, it's either that or he fights tooth and nail with the woman through the system. And the system is skewed towards women. The system that he's fighting in is in a gynocracy. So even men who, and you guys know something else, men who try to fight for their children get punished in the system. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? They get punished by the courts. The court system, they make it almost impossible for a man to live on his own wages just because he wants to be in his child's life. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Well, I'll give you an example. Let's say a man makes $100,000 a year. Let's just keep it as a clean whole number. He makes $100,000 a year. He gets divorced. Okay? Right then and there, he's already having to pay child support and possibly spousal support, depending on how long the marriage was and if she was a housewife or not, and so on and so forth. So he's already paying spousal support from that $100,000. Now, let's say spousal support is $3,000 a month. Okay, so he's already losing that much, right? Then after that, he also has to pay child support. Now, if he's making $100,000 and then he has one child, let's just say one, there goes another $1,500 a month. So that's $3,000 for the woman in spousal support, $1,500 for the child. So how much is that? $4,500. That's already $4,500 out of his pocket every month. Now, I know he's not making $100,000 a month, but he's making that a year. So let's say, I don't know, I'm not good at math, but you guys do the math. It's a lot of money that they will be taking from that man every month. Now, let's say that this man says, listen, with my bills, with me just taking care of myself and paying the mortgage on the house for my wife, my now ex-wife, and paying child support and paying insurance, paying all the things that I have to pay just to take care of me, I cannot afford this. The judges literally tell the men, I don't care. I don't care. You find a way to pay it. These men, they get 70 to 75% of their wages taken from them from spousal support and child support. They can get up to 70 or 75% of their wages taken from them. So you're working for $1 and you're only getting 30 cents out of that dollar. I mean, it's and that's all because he wants to be a dad. A man who is a deadbeat, imagine, he's paying nothing, and the courts do nothing. But a man who actually wants to be there, a man who's actually trying to be there for his kid, he gets drugged, he gets drained, and this is why a lot of men off themselves. And I'm so sorry to even think about this because this is a topic that I do want to talk about, but it's a little bit hard to talk about, is speaking about men's sadness. I don't want to say sadness. It sounds so weak. It's not sadness. It's a struggle. Yeah, anyway, I see it all the time. And a lot of people, especially like on different networks, they'll call me things like pick me or what is it called? Like, she's just like what's it called, guys? Not just pick me, but when you do anything for the attention of men or some bull crap, they call me these type of things, right? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, guys, it is not to be in the favor of men. If you lived my life and you see what men go through, you would feel the way I do too. You would hate these bitches too. You would say these hoes ain't loyal too. If you saw what I have to see every day, I mean, and okay, maybe, okay, Amira, your views are skewed because you work in a divorce court. How are they skewed when the courts are all about women? How are my views skewed if I'm working in a so-called gynocentric state, California? It's all about women. But somehow, yeah. Anyway, but we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about politics. When are you going back on Lapeef? Maybe this coming week. I might go back for a little bit on this week. I'm not sure yet. It depends on the topic oftentimes, because sometimes Lapeef talks about like black topics and they hate it. I mean, the other panelists, especially the women, the men don't really care, but the women, oh my God, they hate if I ever have an opinion on black topics. Oh my God. How dare she? She's not black. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Guys, I live in the same country as you. I see everything that you see. It's not something, no big secret, okay? That's why. But to avoid a lot of that controversy, I stay out of certain topics because of that. Even though I love the controversy, don't get me wrong, I actually love it, but sometimes my blood pressure goes up. But Nish, she says, my boyfriend talks about women all the time. It puts me in a depressive state after a while. I'm unsure why, because I don't act like a typical modern woman, but society would look at me as such. Nedge, I think a lot of women think that they don't act like the typical modern woman. I think a lot of women think that, but it's so hard for anyone to believe that, it's so hard for anyone to believe, because think about it, Nesh. If most women say that they are not the typical modern woman, that they're not the average, then where is the average? Because the average has to be somewhere. Now, I'm not saying that you are, but for a man to try to figure out who you are, a man would have to decide if you are a typical modern woman. That's the hard thing about it, is having the man tell you that he sees that you're not the typical modern woman. But when any woman says that about themselves, is men will not believe that. No man is going to believe that, because every woman says the same thing. Nej, have you ever seen the Lapeef Network? If you haven't, I ask you to check it out. When I go on those panels, typically every single woman, Nej, says the same thing. I'm not like other women. Nej, I'm serious. They say the same thing. I'm not like other women. Here we go. Here's the other one. I am successful. I'm not going to be barefoot pregnant and blah, blah, blah. But then again, I'm also not the average modern woman either, because I was raised to be a woman. That's exactly how I say. My mom taught me how to cook. And I'm like, that's not it. That's not it. And so a lot of men hear that and they're just like, it means nothing when women say it. Even I could say that too, but it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what they see. And if they see it, then they'll never address you that way, because they'll know that you aren't that. But they have to see it. They have to be the judges of whether we are or aren't the average modern woman. Male identified. Yes, Barry. Seriously. Oh, you're male identified. Oh, you just want, what do you want? You want the attention or the praise of men? No, I want to call you bitches out. I want to call out the misbehavior. That's what I want. And if it just so happens that other people agree, well, then so be it. But I just want to call out the nonsense. My dad is married and walks on eggshells in his own house. I'd rather die. I can, I don't, I don't, I want, I need, we, America, there, I, if a man in America wants to get married, I would 90% of the time tell him, don't. And the reason I say that is because of the system in America. It's not so much that it's the system. The system is against you. And you taking a risk with an American woman, it puts you at the end of the barrel of a shotgun. A shotgun is pointed at your temple and it's loaded. The moment that you give a woman that much power over your life in America. Prenups exist, but as you guys know, I work in law. Many times I have seen prenups be treated as toilet paper because a woman has claimed that she was taking medication when she signed the document. She was forced to sign the document. She felt obligated to sign it, or else he wouldn't marry her or he wouldn't give her love or what have you. Bull crap. And then the prenup gets thrown out. The laws have to change in this country before marriage can ever be something beneficial to men again. Right now, there is almost no benefit for a man getting married in this country because the women aren't worth it anymore. The women don't come with skills. They don't come with the mentality of helping you. They don't come there in order to support you in your dream. They are coming in there to get children, to get leverage, and to possibly push that leverage button whenever they're ready to do so. Or if they just feel like, like they want to cash in their jackpot. And the laws have to change in this country first. Those women say they can cook, can this, can that. But when it comes to will you, they won't. They don't. He can cook for himself. Then why use that as a selling point to why you're different? And have you guys, Erin, Nej, are you still here? She said, try me. Nej, hear me out. Nej, have you heard ladies today telling, now I don't know how you feel about this, Nej, but just tell me how you feel. Have you seen ladies telling their men that they have to contribute in the household chores? If they're married to them, they say, oh, you think that I'm your maid? No, you have to clean up too. If I cook, you can do the dishes. Or if you cook, I'll do the dishes. Does this sound good to you, Nesh, as a woman? To me, it's different, but don't worry about me because remember, I'm a pick-me. But to a lot of women, this sounds like normal, Nej. This sounds normal. Like, oh yeah, the man should contribute with the household chores. Yeah, the man should. He should be helping me out. He should be helping out, especially if I'm working too. Now, I have a different view on that. See, I have a different view on that because I believe Women's work is women's work and men's work is men's work. Women stay in your place and men stay in their place. A woman's work is hers. And if a woman cannot handle working outside and taking care of her home chores, then one of those needs to go. One of them needs to go. But a woman's work is never to be excused because of, because I'm working outside. Because you don't neglect your work because you're working outside. You're not supposed to neglect your house and your job because of outside forces. That is your work. That is not his work. That's how I believe. That's how I feel. And I'll always be like that because that's how I am too. I work. I didn't used to work. I work now. Do you think my husband lifts a finger in my house? Everything that you see in this house is wiped down by me. I don't have my husband lift a finger to clean in this house. But I'm different, I guess. I guess it's just different because I said if I can't handle working outside and taking care of my home, then I can't work outside. I can't do it. I will say I can't do it. I can't do both. But if you want to be out there working outside, then you need to pick up the energy. You need to learn how to moderate your energy so that you can do both jobs. Prep and cook. Nesh! Yes. There you go. Frost says, my stepmom don't even work and she be saying that stuff. And okay. Oh my God. And to hear women say that stuff is infuriating to me. And I know, like, why do you get infuriated, Amira? It's not your house. It's not my house. But this is my country, and this is what little girls, young girls that are growing up are hearing, and they are all nodding their heads to it. Have you guys, okay, listen. Have you guys, hold on. Have you guys actually seen, you'll see like groups of ladies, or even on panels, have you guys seen where they'll be talking, right? There'll be groups of ladies talking together. And then when a lady says something that other ladies relate to, you know what they do? They're like, And then they start like nodding their head and stuff like that. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a party. Anyway, tell me why. There are women out there who say this. They say, oh, if me and you are getting up in the morning to go to work, you best believe that you will be helping me with the house chores, okay? And then all the other ladies are like, okay, yeah. All these girls nodding their head. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, what's wrong with that? There's the younger generation are looking at that. And the younger generation is easily influenced by head nodding and people agreeing because that's human nature. You sitting over there, yeah, girl. All of this is bad. It's all bad news bears. And you see all these women just agreeing to it and nodding their heads to it. This is the problem. This is why I say, Beetlejuice is here. Hi, Beetlejuice. But this is why I say there is a problem with the culture. And even without the problem in the culture, the laws are the reason why I say that most men should not be getting married in this country. It's the laws. Let's say the culture is bad, but the laws are set. Let's say the laws are fair. Let's say the laws are not just gynocentric. If that were the case, I might even say, you know what, there is a chance for marriage because at least men won't be I won't say that because I'm trying to keep it PG-13. At least men won't be bent over and rammed with no lube in the legal court system. Okay, let's just say that way. Let's leave it that way. You guys understand. At least they won't have that happen to them. You can get married. I would say, okay, go ahead, men, get married because at least I know that you will not be raped by the court system. But that's not the case. We have a bad culture and bad legal system, bad family courts, bad women, bad everything. Even Puniti, even bad puniti at this point. And the reason I say bad puniti is not because I go around knowing if I don't go around examining, but what I will tell you is that there has to be a problem, because when I see so many videos online on these YouTubes, I see so many videos of women talking about how they don't know what a bidet is. They don't know how to clean their hummus parts. They don't know what they're doing with their private areas. And then I see other videos of men coming online and talking about the smell. So if we are living in a culture where we have bad laws, bad family system, bad legal system, bad family courts, bad women, bad culture, and then we have bad punyiti. Even the punyiti is bad. Why would I tell my son to get married? Why? I listen for my hypothetical son. We are taking him back home. We are taking him through the East to go wife shopping. Okay. We're going wife shopping in the East. We are not doing our wife shopping here. Okay. Because I can't imagine that it's going to get any better in the next couple of years. I don't imagine. Things typically get worse before they get better. And I don't see anything getting any better. I really don't. Do you? Do you guys see anything getting any better? Yes, that is what I'm saying. Why are you guys... Don't make me show you guys videos, because I will. I will show you guys videos, because sometimes if I got to see it, you got to see it too. I will show you guys videos of what I'm talking about. There are videos of men coming online and asking other men, is it normal for women to smell a certain way during their menstrual? Women, what are you doing? What are you doing, ladies? What is going on out there? And this is the reason why Nej, listen, I don't know if you have virgin ears, Nej. I'm sorry, okay? You're gonna be my new best friend over here. Sorry, Erin, but she's taking your place. That's how us ladies are. That's how women are. Look, I have a new best friend, Erin. But Nej, I'm telling you, it goes down. It look online. If I have to show you guys, I will do it. Do you guys remember? Listen, do you guys remember on the Dusk Till Dawn movie? You guys remember the movie Dusk Till Dawn by Quentin Tarantino? Tell me you guys remember that, right? Do you guys remember when they were arriving to the Titty Twister? That's the name of the club. But when they were arriving to the Titty Twister, the what's his name? I think his name is Cheech, right? Cheech Martin or something. He was outside and he was like, listen, forgive me, guys, what I'm gonna say. He was like, pussy, come on in, pussy lovers. Today we are slashing pussy in half. We have a sale that is pussy blowout. He said, we got white pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, Asian pussy. We got hot pussy, cold pussy. We got yellow pussy. Oh my God. Anyway, but the part that was funny was when he said, we got smelly pussy, bloody pussy. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, so yeah. So anyway, we got smelly pussy, bloody pussy. We have it all. And the thing is, I don't understand what these women are doing out here. I really don't. I just don't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, look, I'm sorry. But it was hilarious. Tell me that wasn't the best part of the movie. That was the best part of the whole movie. I think that actor, he should have gotten an award just for that part alone. Okay? He should have gotten an award. And you guys know it wasn't scripted. It wasn't scripted. That part was not even scripted. And he did that. He should have gotten an award for that one. Just on what, a Grammy. Grammy, hello, Grammy. What are the Grammys out here doing? But anyway. Aaron said, women. Look, Aaron, I am easily taken, okay? I'm easily taken by Nedge. She's nice, okay? She's nice. You're too mean to me, Aaron, so no. No, Nedge says, it's not supposed to have a potent smell, but it obviously has a smell, but it's not supposed to be deadly. No one can smell me, so I'm good. It's almost like everyone has a natural scent, right? Everybody has a natural scent. I mean, even your hair, you have a natural scent, the back of your ears, everyone has a natural scent. And I would imagine that even down there, everyone has a natural scent. I said scent, not stench. There's a difference between scent and stench, okay? There is, and this is why I just, no, imagine how bad Rachel Boniti. No, stop it. You will not talk about my best friend like that. I will not allow you to do that, okay? She is not smelly, so stop it. Aaron says, oh yeah, I'm not that nice. You're not, Aaron. I need a little bit of love from a woman, okay? And Nedge, she's giving me that love. Well, at least today. Who knows how she'll be later, but at least today. Aaron says, read my earlier comment. I think the problem is less hygienic and more diet. But Aaron, even if it is diet, how is it that women cannot smell themselves? Do you know what I mean? How is it that a woman doesn't know when she has a stench? How do you not know? But you know what I mean? Diet or not, how do you not know? Yes, having a natural scent is normal, but it's not supposed to seep through your jeans, you know? The video that I'm talking about in particular is a gentleman who's online on YouTube, and he was asking other men if it was normal for women to have a smell while they were on their menstrual, because he said that the woman that he was with, I guess he made her his girlfriend, and when you're around a person enough, you can tell when they are not their normal selves. And he said that when she was menstruating and she had a very strong stench, but it wasn't like that when she wasn't menstruating. And when I saw this video, I was horrified, because I was thinking to myself, like, how bad does it have to be for a man to have to go on to social media or YouTube to actually ask other men questions that are intimate like that? How bad does it have to be? And it just bothered me so much. I mean, nasty goat cheese. Not the goat cheese. Women are supposed to have a more heightened sense of smell. So yeah, hell, exactly, Prima One. That's the thing. Like, I can smell. What is something that is in particular that I can smell that I could show you guys? Okay. If I'm upstairs in the home on the top level and the kitchen is in the middle level, I can smell if something is about to burn all the way at the top of the house on the other side. I can smell before it burns. I can run downstairs and I can catch it right before it burns. That's a woman's smell. Women are supposed to have that type of smell, because we're supposed to be warned if something is wrong because of children. And And this woman, she doesn't know if the smell is seeping through her jeans. She doesn't know. I just don't. I refuse to believe. I believe that it has to be a person who just doesn't care about themselves, or maybe they're possibly trying to discuss the other person on purpose. Yeah. I smell smells a mile away. Yes, yes. I can smell when my husband has been in a room and I haven't seen him. I didn't know that he was in the same place as I was, but I knew because when the elevator door opened, I could smell him. And I texted him, I said, "Hey, where are you?" And he said, "I'm so and so." And I said, "I knew it. I smelled you in the elevator." I mean, women's smell is strong. And how does she not know? And then Keela says some women are highly unaware of it. And Keela works at a strip club. Keela, you working at a club where women are naked. I'm assuming they're naked, aren't they? They're all the way naked. They and there are women who smell and they don't know. I can't believe it. I really can't. Keela says, ever since I put 3 girls on to feminine products, stanky leg is almost a thing of the past. Still till this day. I don't know what stanky leg is, but okay. Topless. Oh, they're topless. Okay. So what are they wearing on the bottom? Well, never mind. I don't want to know. Never mind. I just don't tell me, Keela. I don't want to know. It's not strip club story hour. Not right now, but later on we could. Hey, no strip club story hour. Stop it. Okay. We're not gonna do that right now. But anyway, I don't know, you guys. Like, I don't understand how a woman doesn't know. I just don't. He says they're wearing string cheese. Really? Like, little idiot. Oh my gosh, no. He says, I can only guess that their sense of smell has been negatively affected by some form of drugs or bad habits. Now, I don't. I'm sorry to hear about that one. Guys, can we change the subject? I'm starting to get nauseous. Okay, hold on. Wait. No, Sam says, casually flexing about having a private elevator. Can you stop? That wasn't the point of that story. That wasn't. And I didn't say that. So they don't know until you said it. Oh my God, Samael. Anyway, I want to bring up something. Here we go. In the news, okay, I want to share with you guys something in the news. Illegal aliens are giving up on the American dream. They are now settling for a Mexican one. 300 illegal aliens walked out of a southern-based city in Mexico and continued their trek to northern Mexico, even though their initially reported leader and organizer is currently sitting in police custody. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. What kind of? Listen, you guys know Sheinbaum? Are you talking about is that a? So wait. So the Mexican president. Okay, all right, whatever. All right. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum cleared up the assumption, telling reporters that their organizer, Luis Garcia Villagran, was arrested for human trafficking. We're not surprised. And he is not an activist. As for the migrants, many of them have given up on gaining entry into the U.S. While speaking to Mexican reporters, the migrants complained about the months that they've been waiting to have their status legalized, or they're still waiting for an asylum. So the migrants have chosen to settle for central Mexico and to look for work and housing through there. Sorry, guys. The migrants aren't traveling alone, though. They're being escorted by immigration agents, police, Marines, and paramedics. They are also being accompanied by a Catholic priest. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, wait. This sounds like a bad joke. Watch. An immigration agent, an illegal immigrant, a paramedic, and a Catholic priest walk into Tijuana. They walk to Tijuana. That's the beginning of the joke, okay? Oh my gosh. But listen, I have something about LGBTQIAs plus pedals and everything sick. You guys want to hear about it? You guys have no choice. Watch. A teacher who refused to use transsexual students' names is cleared to sue. A divided 7th District Court of Appeals has ruled that the Brownsburg School District was unable to prove that teacher John Kluge was not detrimental to the creation of a so-called safe and inclusive learning environment. Initially, Brownsburg High School officials did not have a problem with the teacher using students' last names like sports coach do, But all that changed when the district received complaints from students and other faculty members. After the complaints, the teacher was told to either call transsexual students by the names that they chose or be fired. So you you are going to you're willing to fire a man who went through all the necessary things that he needed to do to be a teacher in a school. You're willing to fire him, have him lose his way of life, all because he wouldn't call some kids by a made up name from them using a made up gender. Screw you and everybody that looks like you. I can't stand this. But anyway, they were willing to fire him, even though Kluge, the teacher, told his superiors that his Christian faith prevents him from using transsexual pronouns. Although he lost the initial verdict, the teacher won his appeal 2-1, and now he can use the last names of the students just like he wished from the beginning. That is what I'm talking about. Finally, we have some winning here, okay? Listen, Kluge, the reason why he got this, the reason why he was able to get this was because he resigned from that school, and then he filed a lawsuit under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And that was the way that he got this verdict, that he got, to win in the Court of Appeals. But initially, I guess you could say, what is it called? They shut him down. They shut him down initially, and then he got it 2-1. So he's good. Now he can call students by their last names, but why in the hell did he have to go through the court system and go through all of this, including almost losing his job by being fired, even though he had to resign later? All of this just because of stupid transsexual crap. This crap that it's not even real. This stuff it shouldn't matter in a schoolhouse. It just, it bothers me so much. But anyway, I'll give you guys something else. Judge Boasberg slapped down by a DC appeals court. Now, after months of doing his best to illegally interfere with the actions of the executive branch, federal judge James Boasberg has suffered yet another loss in the higher court. This time, however, his defeat came at the hands of a Washington, D.C. appeals court, which no doubt came as a shock to many due to D.C. circuit courts having a reputation for pro-Democrat corruption. As you guys know, many of the many of the courts in the circuit courts in DC have a reputation for being straight up loony lefty run places. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta turn this off. I'm starting to get phone calls. I'm sorry guys. All right. Okay, so Boasberg threatened to hold the Trump administration officials in criminal contempt for ejecting illegal invaders out of this country by airplane and ignoring his order telling them to turn the plane around. And that was back on March the 15th. The three-panel appeals court ruled 2-1 in the Trump administration's favor. Now, check this out. This is a Democrat-run circuit court, and they ruled 2-1 in the favor of the Trump administration, with appellate judge George Katsas. His name is hard to say. George Katsas, who is a Trump appointee, saying that Boasberg's actions were, and I quote, improper use of contempt power because SCOTUS had already lifted Boasberg's ban on the flights before he told the federales to, quote unquote, purge the contempt. The judge that we're talking about, Judge Katsas, he continued on saying, and I quote, now this is a full quote, here it is. The government correctly says it has been put into a Hobson's choice, comply with an invalid order or name executive branch officials for the initiation of criminal contempt proceedings. The proffered choice impermissibly commingles civil and criminal contempt in a manner that results in substantial prejudice in the government. Compounding this mistake, as you guys know, the district court's order attempts to control the executive branch conduct of foreign affairs. So that's basically trying to control the president's actions when it comes to foreign affairs. And that is an area in which a court's power is at its lowest ebb. But it's always these people always trying to control what Trump does or how Trump gets these illegals out. Basically saying, oh, by airplane, we told them to turn the airplane around back on March 15th. You can't eject illegal immigrants out of this country. Like, so what else was he supposed to do? Put them in a chain on a rope and then tell them to walk their arses back to their countries and just watch them walk into the sunset back through Guatemala? What else was he supposed to do? This doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I mean, they just find reasons to bitch and moan no matter what. Now, look, no matter what Trump does, they're going to find a reason to bitch and moan about it. You guys know, no matter what he does, he could send them back on luxurious planes, eating top food, freaking, and they would still complain. Oh, look at him. He's giving them their last meal as if they were on death row. They would complain about everything. So whatever, screw them and everybody that looks like them. But anyway, of course, an Obama appointee and dissenter, Cornelia Pillard. She accused the Trump administration of defying court orders with impunity instead of legally challenging them, even though filing legal challenges is exactly what Trump officials have been doing the entire time. But she claims that hers and Boasberg's perceived contempt warrants this toothless, unconstitutional order against Trump officials. So she's like, hey, look, no matter what, we do what we want, and it's worth it. And this is what Trump had coming to him. And you want to know why? You want to know why? It's because he's evil. When are these people going to grow up? I mean, now check this out. Her name is Cornelia Pillard. Look her up. Guys, look her up. She's bitter. She's another one of those bitter, haggard women. But anyway, I want to move on to my last subject to give to you guys, and that is Beto. Beto. So he's back, and he's getting sued by Texas. Okay, here it is. Earlier this week, Texas Democrats once again decided to flee the state to stop a vote. Now, if you guys don't know about it, Democrats in Texas, instead of working and doing their jobs because they're Democrats in Texas, they feel that they are being overpowered by Republicans. So basically they're saying, we refuse to work. We're just going to go to another state, which is, I believe it's illegal, isn't it? But anyway, let's see the article. Texas Democrats once again decided to flee the state to stop a vote. This time, they tried to stop a redistricting vote that, when not if passed, would remove some of their seats, some of their Democrat seats, to better represent the population. Okay? So they are scared about being removed. And even though it is what the population wants, don't they say that they care about the population, that they care about their constituents? I guess their constituents' wants don't matter when it's going against what keeps them in power. But as the story went on, it became obvious that someone paid for the private flight that took those Democrats from Texas to the most gerrymandered state in the Union, Illinois. The Democrats were put up in a fancy hotel, and they were treated like dukes and lords. They were treated like absolute rock stars in Chicago by the likes of Governor Pritzker and the programmed everyday Democrat voters. Of course, these people are going to be treated like royalty because they are rebels. They're rebelling against those evil, evil Republicans. So, of course, they're going to be seen as martyrs, heroes, rock stars, absolute Democrat royalty. Now, it has been revealed that the culprit behind the Democrat takeoff is none other than Beto O'Rourke. And through his group, Powered by People, this revelation prompted Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to file a lawsuit against Beto's group to obtain a temporary restraining order. And it was successful in its goal. The restraining order forces Powered by People, which is Beto O'Rourke's group, to immediately stop all spending and fundraising as it pertains to the runaway Democrats. Get your arses back to your state and do your effing job. But Paxton's lawsuit accuses Powered by People, which is Beto O'Rourke, of running a misleading financial influence scheme that funneled donor money towards personal expenses for the absent Democrats instead of legitimate political activities. So all this money was being funneled to people that weren't even there. They weren't even doing their job. But political activities that actually need funding, yeah, those things aren't being taken care of at all. You guys already know how it works. We don't even have to go into that one. As it stands, the restraining order, is in place for the next 2 weeks. I mean, these people are just dirty. I mean, running away like freaking teenagers. What are you guys, teenagers? What are we, like 15 and you're running away from daddy's house because he didn't let you go to the prom or he didn't let you go to the dance, and now you're going to run away? What are you doing? And my thing is, when they ran away, did they have like little sticks and like little bags on their sticks? You know how like Snoopy, when Snoopy used to run away, did he have like a little stick on his bag and like I wish I could have seen how these idiots look while they're running away. Running away from the Democrats, running away from, the Republican state. My gosh, these people. Beto is ghetto. Yakub says, they fear of being removed, so they remove themselves. Well, you know what? This might be in the best of all of us. Maybe they should go and maybe stay out. Let's see if Illinois wants to accept them, though. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I have. Okay. All right. That's all my news that I have for today. Anyway, yeah, that's all the news I have for today, I guess. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. But anyway, so that's that. Hey, Neil. Hello, Neil. It's 1:37 a.m. on the East Coast. Oh my God, let's go to sleep. Let's go to sleep. Neil says, this happened in Wisconsin a few years back. More proof the Democrats don't care about democratic process. Convince your fellows of the rightness of your position and then win the vote. Yeah, of course. That is not how they like to get things done. We know that, Neil. We know. Yakub says they're running scared like little girls. Oh my gosh. BTK says Illinois accepts illegal alien Democrats. Oh, great, Illinois. Doing great. Making us proud, aren't you? So are you guys ready to go? I'll let you guys go now. Oh, John Doe says Obama is going to be called to testify soon before Congress on Russiagate. That should be fun. I can't wait. And we will be talking about it together for sure. It says, whatever it is, I call it dereliction of duty. Jail. Guys, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Oh, where was my... Oh my gosh. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I have enjoyed it, of course. Oh wait, you guys know what? I have to actually be proper. Okay, hold on. Wait 1 second. All right. Wait. I'll put my hair back, actually. Should I put my hair back? Yeah. Do I look better with my hair back or forward? Nah, forward. Okay. All right, let me fix. Okay. All right. Thank you all for joining me today. It has been a great pleasure. You all have been a great pride tonight, and not many people have been sent to the naughty corner today. I didn't see really many people being sent to the naughty corner today, so I think you all have behaved, and I appreciate you guys behaving like humans instead of being animals like you always are. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. It has been great fun. I hope to see you all next week. And with that, I yield my time. Good night, everybody.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.